What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of G4 Outdoors. Today we are going to be going over some tips and tricks and how-tos on how to mount your FishFinderMount.com FishFinder mount.
More because my brain is really hurting. And now the bank is always calling and I don't know what to do. And I haven't bought a crankbait since like 1992. But the bass are out there schooling and they're ready to attack. And I got all my favorite lures and they're loaded in my pack. All that stress that's in my body's always driving me insane. When I'm reeling in that buzzbait, it just seems to go away. Now you see, fishing ain't a habit, it's a passion in my soul's when I'm casting and I'm
all right, I know that I mentioned FishFinderMounts.com quite a bit in these videos, but it's not because I'm sponsored. I bought all this with my own money. Not only am I bringing content to YouTube, but I really believe in these products. What FishFinderMounts.com supplies is high quality product. With the systems that they hand out, you got a C-clamp. You can mount this thing virtually anywhere. The side of your boat, you can mount it on the back of your transom, you can mount this on a dock, you can mount this on a pontoon, just any place you can mount a C-clamp, you can mount this to and set up your own transducer on it. It comes with a base plate for your boat. This base plate here, it can come up here on the top of your gunwale and go down here on the deck of your boat. And being as it is down here on the deck of your boat, you see that you got quite a bit of room right here. You can also get 2-inch risers. These come in 2-inch sections. So what you do is you mount your base plate to your deck, put a 2-inch riser on there. As you can see, if there was something on here, it wouldn't quite come across. No problem. Get another riser and you're up 4 inches. Now you're above everything and your transducer mount will work. All you gotta do is slap your block on top of there, and this is what holds the transducer mount. And as you can see, it fits just fine here. Now the only problem, I'm gonna walk you around the boat and show you some places, some things you need to think about on where you're gonna be mounting this. Because like I say, here on the side of the boat, this is your normal bass boat. They're all gonna be roughly 4 inches high. So just a single 2-inch riser probably isn't gonna cut it on your boat unless you have a really shallow lip right here. There's some places like on top of the gunwale here, how it's a little bit curved. There's ways to get around that, but let's take a walk around the boat. All right, on this boat right here, we do have a curvature on the top of the rail. Some boats are flat, some boats are curved, you get all kinds. We do have an option of putting this up here, and as you can see, it's not optimal the way it is. One way to get around this is to get a rubber gasket on the bottom here. 1/8 of an inch I think would work, just something to fill this gap up, and so that this would actually suck down onto the rail and hold tightly. One thing, you can still see that wobbling. That's the only problem that I see about mounting it on this boat. So something that I mentioned about earlier, the deck space on this boat is at a premium, so we really don't want stuff up here on the deck of where we're going to be walking. So if this was to go on the deck right here, we're gonna have 2-inch risers right here. A big problem that we're seeing with this is going to be a toe kicker at some point. Walking around with your flip-flops up here on the deck, it's just kind of a dangerous situation here, along with probably pretty painful. Another option is to put it right up here next to your trolling motor. It would be a good place to put this, but then when we start thinking about, there's going to be 2 of us on this boat most of the time doing our live scoping and whatnot. The guy up front is going to be in control of the trolling motor and the live scope, which is a benefit to him, but it's a partner program, so we both have to be able to reach this mount right here. Now, if you want to do it all by yourself, I think that this is an excellent place to mount this. It's out of the way of everything. It's not obstructing your trolling motor or anything like that. You're up here in the front seat. You can control where you point your live scope, and you're just completely in control of everything. Screw the guy in the back seat, right?
So when it comes to this bass boat, everything's kind of going on that side. The rod tie downs, I keep my rods over there, his rods are over there. That kind of is occupied and used. But on the driver's side of the boat, not a lot's used up here. So this whole area, as you can see, the carpet's clean, dirty over here. I think that's why we're gonna go with this spot, help keep it out of the way. So when it is right here, we can have it up. You can still reach over, get to it in the back. I can get to it in the front, and when it's time to flip this up and take a shot down the lake, it's nice and out of the way, not on top of the rods, not getting in the way of everything. So we're gonna go ahead and install it on this side using the 4-inch risers, and I think we're gonna be set up to go with a really cool system for this boat. So the first steps you're going to want to take when mounting something like this is just kind of avoid the hardware that came with it. And someone like me, I like to go straight to Velcro. I think Velcro is one of the...
Dude.
Yeah?
Whatever. With all your fish finder mounts, they do supply all of the hardware that you need to install this.
Hey, flex tape.
So one thing you want to keep in mind when you're mounting this to the deck is you need to watch out for seams in your deck. You want to stay far enough away from that. That way the teeth on your screws are going to be able to go into aluminum and not directly go into the crack or a seam where the aluminum lines up. Now if you got a fiberglass boat, this might be a little bit of a different story. You might want to put a backing plate underneath here and bolt this together. But being this is an aluminum boat, we're going to get by just fine with the screws. Okay, you're definitely going to pre-drill your holes into your aluminum deck so that your screw can fit in there. Now that we have it mocked up, we have one screw in place. Now we're going to drill out the other 3 holes and put our screws in. You notice how it's not so sunny out here anymore? It just seems like everything that we work on, we wind up breaking something. Broke a drill bit and then we broke a screw off into one of these holes. Whew, let's get back to it. All right, now that we got the base plate installed, now it's time to install our risers. There's something you want to keep in mind on these risers here. They are built the same way on the top, but you can't install them. It has to go one way, okay? These screws right here will screw down to your base plate. This piece right here goes on top. Now if you install it this way, all you're doing is putting these screws down into the big holes. You're going to want to turn that around so that it actually fits and is able to screw into the screws that it's supposed to. So let's get these all tightened up onto the base plate. One thing extra that we are going to install is a piece of flex tape. Flex tape helps everything. But anyway, we're just going to set this here on the wall. That'll prevent any rattling to make sure that this is tied up against the wall. Just make sure everything's tight. All right, so we got everything screwed down, everything's tight, and I'm telling you what, you can pull your boat around with this. It is solidly anchored on there. So let's put our rod in here. And guys, it is just as easy as that. That's what I like about this system. That's how quick you can install your transducer. Might be a little crooked. All right, he's not gonna know until this video is out. I actually did drill that wrong, so I had to put 3 more holes in there to angle this out a little bit more. But we're back on track where it's supposed to be. So it's just as easy as putting this in here. And that is why I like this, guys. It's just so easy to maneuver this thing around. You can have this hanging just right off the side of your boat. You can have it hanging clear out. If you need to run down the lake, just put that all the way up here and it sits just fine like that. If you're going for a long run down the lake, you can pull that pivoting handle, push that all the way in there. Everything's stowed up inside the boat. It's just a super handy system. So guys, that was just a quick install of the FishFinderMounts.com Fish Finder Mount Universal Transducer Mount. Specifically, like I say, we have this for the Garmin LiveScope. If you haven't yet checked out the portable LiveScope system, we're going to be doing a lot of crappie fishing this year with that system. But anyways, guys, I hope this brought you some valuable information on where and how to mount this on your boat. The different circumstances of why you would mount it someplace over the other. Anyways, I hope that was all useful information. When you're done, it's time to get down to the lake, tuck it up, and we're gone, just like this video. Have a nice day. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We will see you in the next one. I'm out. Don't want to take up too much room, so let me walk. If I stutter one more time, I'm gonna right in your...
I'm gonna throw a football over those mountains.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. What's going on?
You would have put me in, I swear to God, we would
Stress
have
that's
went
in my
state.
body's always driving me insane. When I'm reeling in that buzzbait, it just seems to go away. Now you see, fishing ain't a habit, it's a passion in my soul. When I'm casting and I'm smashing all these bass that are on my pole. Now for a minute or an hour, if I'm fishing, then I'm fine. I just only need a second when I'm wetting up a line. So if the weather's super crappy or you might be stuck inside, search G4 Outdoors YouTube online. Well, as I look up